Welcome and thanks for joining us. My guests today are Tony Frazier, Executive Vice President for Global Field Operations at Maxar, Chris Schenk, Vice President for Civil and National Security Space at Maxar, and Mark Giaconia, Senior Director of Analytics Engineering at Maxar. Tony, first question for you. You know, people are watching this or listening to this, use satellite technology every single day, but they don't know anything about Maxar. It's been around since 1957 and has over 5,800 employees. Tony, can you give us a little bit about the company and share some examples of how our audience interacts with Maxar Technologies?
Sure, John. So Maxar was formed 2 years ago through the combination of Digital Globe and a Canadian company named MDA. And for the first year and a half, we operated under different brands, so our legacy companies. So we had Digital Globe, Radiant Solutions, Space Systems Loral, and MDA. And at the beginning of the year, we domesticated in the U.S. And consolidated all of the U.S. brands under Maxar. And so today we provide a variety of Earth intelligence and space infrastructure solutions to customers across the public and private sector. And to your question about how they interact with our technology, applications like online mapping and satellite radio are enabled with Maxar technology. So also for those in the audience that are affiliated with the U.S. government, anyone with a .gov or .mil email address are able to access Maxar satellite imagery. It's paid for, and we have hundreds of thousands of users across the community. And we also have many team members embedded at different agencies around the community. We have 1,500 cleared team members supporting different types of missions.
Yeah, on radio you can say that's the phrase that pays. In Washington, D.C., 1,500 cleared team members. That's bragging rights, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That's great. So you gave us kind of an overview. It's kind of hard to summarize exactly what Maxar does. Give us more of this breadth and scope, please.
Sure. So we think of our purpose as helping our customers harness the potential of Earth intelligence and space infrastructure to transform missions. So we wake up every day focused on helping customers understand and navigate our changing planet, enable global broadband communications, and also support emerging missions around space exploration. So we work with different agencies across the U.S. government, so whether they be intelligence, defense, or civil agencies. We partner with dozens of foreign allies to support their missions. And we work with the largest commercial technology companies in the world. So just a few examples. In the commercial tech space, we work with companies like Google, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Uber. They all leverage our imagery to power their mapping applications. In the U.S. government, we have large contracts with the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency and many of their mission partners to support their geospatial intelligence requirements. And then with NASA, we are partnered with them on their initiatives to get back to the moon. So we're through the Artemis program, we're going to be putting the first woman and the next man on the moon. And so they're leveraging our power propulsion element technology to power the lunar gateway.
You know, Tony, we have satellites circling the Earth all the time. Some are pointing out towards the stars, some are pointing towards the Earth.
That's right.
And I think Maxar has diversified beyond satellite imagery into Earth intelligence. Well, tell me more about that concept.
Absolutely. So we've been on a journey over the past decade to go from collecting lots of information, what we call pixels, and turning that into information insight. So when we started on this journey, we had a vision of revealing insight where and when it matters. And so we were early adopters of emerging technologies like cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and machine learning to support that process of extracting all that information from our imagery and turning it into useful information. So just a few examples. We use computer vision algorithms, so machine learning, to be able to do things like detect new construction within an image, automate the production of maps, so identify where all the roads, the buildings, and points of interest are in maps, and also help thousands of intelligence analysts search broad areas on very rapid timelines.
You know, when I hear NASA and Artemis and intelligence, I think of a bunch of rocket scientists over there. So that's you guys are a bunch of white lab coats rocket scientists, or what?
We have a few. We have a few rocket scientists, but we have a pretty diverse talent base across the company, because to support the missions, we need aerospace engineers and data scientists and software developers and cloud experts, system engineering. You know, these are all really important for the mission. So within my group alone, you know, we focus on supporting the missions, you know, of our customers, and we've added over 100 additional team members, you know, this year to support all the growth, you know, we've had across the community. This year in 2020, we expect to add 200 team members, have close to 100 interns. We definitely feel like, you know, we want to be a talent magnet, you know, for diverse talent in the future.
You know, Tony, I hear these words: geospatial analysis, intelligence tradecraft. It seems like there's different silos of information. So how do you kind of wrestle them all together, like a big rope or something?
Well, a lot of it is pushing that data into the cloud, and then, you know, allowing our customers to drive different types of analytics and build derived products from it. So one example, you know, of that is, I'll give a technology example, then I'll give a mission use case. So on the technology side, we have a joint venture called Vricon, which was a initiative we started 3 years ago to build a globe in 3D. You know, so we have 100 petabytes of imagery in our archive. We've essentially built an inventory of change across the planet. Those images are taken from different angles, and as a result, you know, we're able to create a 3D representation of the Earth with that. So we were recently awarded a big contract with the Army to support their synthetic training environment, an initiative called One World Terrain, that's going to be powered by Vricon. So that's a really interesting application of technology to support next generation mission planning and mission execution. Another example, just to hit on, is more of a mission use case. So I was recently at the AWS reInvent conference and spoke about how we're applying artificial intelligence to support disaster response missions. And so we have a program that we started in 2017 called an open data program, where around major events, we make our imagery available to the public to support crisis response operations. And so since 2017, we've activated 50 events. So whether it's wildfires, floods, earthquakes, hurricanes, you know, all of those events, they drive massive change in a short amount of time. And satellites are uniquely positioned to collect that information at scale. And so one of the recent examples with Hurricane Dorian, you know, we were able to have our imagery available to the public, but we also did rapid damage assessment. So we were able to, within a matter of an hour, do damage assessment for 3,000 buildings using a combination of artificial intelligence and crowdsourcing.
Wow. So if people want more information, the company you mentioned was Vricon, is that what it is with the
That's
V?
right.
Yeah.
Vricon.
The 3D stuff sounds fascinating, it really does. My guests today are Tony Frazier, Executive Vice President for Global Field Operations at Maxar, Chris Schenk, Vice President for Civil and National Security Space at Maxar, and Mark Giaconia, Senior Director of Analytics Engineering at Maxar. I'm your moderator, John Gilroy, on the discussion, Mission-Proven Commercial Capabilities Across Earth and Space, sponsored by Maxar on Federal News Network.